Legal frameworks governing computer security. Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, CFAA. The CFAA criminalizes unauthorized access to computer systems, exceeding authorized access, and transmitting malicious code. Violations carry severe penalties including fines and imprisonment. The law applies to unauthorized security testing even when no damage occurs or criminal intent exists. The CFAA's broad language has been controversial, sometimes catching security researchers who believed they were acting appropriately. Recent reforms provide limited safe harbors for good faith security research, but uncertainty remains. International variations. Most countries have similar laws. The EU's General Data Protection Regulation affects security testing involving personal data. The UK's Computer Misuse Act criminalizes unauthorized access. Australia's Cybercrime Act penalizes unauthorized modification of data, and most jurisdictions worldwide prohibit unauthorized system access regardless of intent. For guidance on legal penetration testing and ethical hacker hiring, visit hire-a-hacker.org. Gray areas and common misconceptions. Vulnerability disclosure. Discovering vulnerabilities through legitimate use or research creates ethical dilemmas. Simply finding a vulnerability isn't illegal, but what you do next matters enormously. Responsible disclosure involves notifying affected organizations privately, allowing reasonable time for fixes, and potentially publicly disclosing after patches are available. Irresponsible disclosure, publicly revealing vulnerabilities without warning organizations, may not be criminal but damages trust and puts users at risk. Worse, attempting to further exploit vulnerabilities for proof of concept crosses into illegal territory. Bug bounty programs. Bug bounty programs provide authorized frameworks for security research. Companies like Google, Microsoft, Facebook, and thousands of others maintain programs explicitly authorizing security testing within defined parameters. Participation requires following program rules, but when done correctly, bug bounties provide legal protection for security research. Important caveat: bug bounty authorization applies only to systems explicitly included in programs. Testing systems not covered by bounty programs requires separate authorization. Academic and educational hacking. Students learning security testing must use authorized environments. Intentionally vulnerable applications like DVWA and WebGoat, dedicated lab environments and virtual machines, bug bounty programs with educational tracks, and personal systems where students own all tested infrastructure. Testing production systems, for educational purposes, without authorization remains illegal regardless of academic intent. Educational motivation doesn't provide legal protection. Cybercrime, crossing the line. What constitutes cybercrime? Cybercrime involves unauthorized system access, data theft or manipulation, deployment of malware or ransomware, denial of service attacks, identity theft and fraud, and unauthorized data exfiltration. These activities are crimes regardless of technical sophistication or claimed motivations. Criminal intent versus curiosity. Legal systems sometimes struggle with intent in computer crime cases. "I was just curious," or "I wanted to help by finding vulnerabilities," doesn't provide legal protection for unauthorized access. The law criminalizes the unauthorized access itself, not just malicious intent. Penalties and consequences. Computer crime convictions carry serious consequences: federal imprisonment for CFAA violations, substantial financial penalties, permanent criminal records affecting employment, civil liability to affected organizations, and professional certification loss. Best practices for organizations and individuals. For organizations hiring ethical hackers, verify tester credentials and professional certifications, obtain proof of liability insurance, execute detailed written contracts, clearly define testing scope and constraints, establish communication protocols for discovered vulnerabilities, and document all authorization explicitly. For security professionals, never test systems without explicit written authorization, strictly adhere to authorized scope, document all testing activities, immediately report scope breaches even if accidental, maintain professional liability insurance, and continuously educate yourself on legal requirements. For security researchers, engage with bug bounty programs for authorized testing opportunities, follow responsible disclosure practices for vulnerability findings, consult legal counsel when uncertain about activities' legality, and avoid testing systems without clear authorization regardless of good intentions. The line between ethical hacking and cybercrime is clear: authorization. Identical technical activities are legal when authorized and criminal when not. Understanding and respecting this boundary protects security professionals from legal liability while ensuring that security testing serves its defensive purpose. Organizations benefit from ethical hacking when conducted within proper frameworks. Security professionals build rewarding careers by combining technical skills with ethical practice and legal awareness. The security community thrives when participants distinguish between legitimate testing and illegal intrusion. For professional ethical hacking services and guidance on legal penetration testing, visit hire-a-hacker.org. Visit the link in the description below for more information.